Hello, Peninsula-Delaware Annual Conference. This is Rob Townsend, your Director of Connectional Ministries. We have so much going on this month of May. You better get your pencils and your paper out because there's a lot of stuff happening and there's so many things that you're going to want to participate in this month. We are so excited. On May 13th, we are joining a Johns Hopkins workshop that's dealing with ministry and addiction. That's really for those concerned about substance abuse in our country and for those personally facing those challenges. It's going to be an hour-and-a-half seminar from 12 to 1:30. It's virtual, and you can click on the link below this picture, to register to be a part of this conference. On May 14th and 15th, the Peninsula-Delaware Committee for Cross-Racial and Cross-Cultural Ministry is hosting an implicit bias workshop. It's a 2-day workshop. It's on Friday night, May 14th from 6:30 to 8:30, and then again on Saturday morning, May 15th from 9 to 12:45. It's going to be a video workshop, and you got to register, and once you register, we will give you the link. But if you'd like to register, look below this video and you'll see the link where you can register for that. Once you register, we'll send you the Zoom link so you can participate in this workshop, and CUs are available for that workshop. On May 15th, our Strengthening the Black Church 21 is having our Young Adult Summit, and that's called It's a Different World. That's on May the 15th from 9 in the morning until 12 p.m. We're looking forward to that. If you'd like to sign up for that, guess where it's going to be? It's going to be right below me, and you want to sign up for that for Young Adult Summit. It's a Different World, May 15th from 9 to 12. So much of our ministry past COVID, during COVID, and now as we're moving out of the COVID time in our lives, we recognize that our pastors and our ministry leaders have become great at doing social media. They've been great at doing all kinds of productions in terms of getting the worship service out online, on Facebook, on YouTube, all different ways of engaging our community. And with that, we recognize that some of our churches are back in our sanctuaries and still continuing to minister to that online community. Please remember that online community is not going to go away. There's so many people that find that to be a very safe environment. They find that to be an environment where they can still participate financially in the ministry of your church, as well as receive the messages and participate in prayer and Bible studies. So don't neglect that. And in an effort to do that, we're going to have a workshop on May the 17th called Both and. Both and. You remember, sometimes we think about either or, but we're talking about both and. We want to maximize the hybrid worship for in-person worship as well as for online audiences. Take a look at this promotional clip.
"2020, it brought about seismic changes in the way that we do ministry, especially in how we craft worship. And while it was a difficult year in many ways, there is so much to celebrate. The church has risen to the challenges facing us in this present time, and we are reaching people we have never reached before. It's as if we are witnesses to the modern day equivalent of Gutenberg firing up his press for the very first time. The church has never been so malleable, and it has never moved so quickly. We have taken some incredible strides and have made some really valuable gains in the way that we are connecting with the world around us. It's an exciting time to be the church. But I believe we face what may be the most critical moment in the life of the modern day church as we enter into the next season of ministry. See, I think that we will either build upon all that we've learned during this pandemic, or we will revert to those comfortable places, practices, and patterns of the past. My name is Jason Moore, and I am very excited to tell you about my new webinar entitled Both and, Maximizing Hybrid Worship Experiences for Online and In-Person Audiences. You see, prior to March 2020, many churches who were already worshiping online, if we're really honest, were creating worship meant for people in the room. And sure, at some point they'd look at the camera and they'd say, "Hey, thanks for joining us online in worship today." But then they'd really turn their attention back to the people in the room and continue with an experience meant for people gathered in a physical space. Back then, we had no other model, and that felt just fine. But when the global pandemic hit, everything changed. Some went online for the very first time, that may be you, and that is to be celebrated. But those who were already offering worship online turned their attention from out here talking to the people to talking to the camera and speaking directly to people worshiping online from home or wherever they happen to be. I think they could feel that change. So a critical moment is upon us as we begin to go back to in-person worship. One of two scenarios may play out. After spending nearly a year talking to the camera, we could very easily treat the people in person like the studio audience, providing the claps and laughs and background voices for those participating online. But what's more likely to happen is that we will turn our attention solely to those people who are gathered physically in front of us and make the online audience feel as if they're observers to an experience that they are not really a part of. They'll feel that too. Friends, nobody wants to be an afterthought. We will lose so much of what we have gained if we treat either audience as secondary. And whatever we do, we can't stop our online worship expressions when we go back to in-person worship, as many churches are ministering to more people right now than have walked through their physical doors in years. Both and must continue. That's why I've created this new learning opportunity to help you build a strategy for how to create what I'm calling both and worship. We'll explore what it means to reimagine worship and the experience of worship for multiple audiences, where everyone feels like they're part of what's taking place in the moment. I'll share multiple strategies for how to create both and worship, regardless of your church size, your worship style, how technically savvy you are, and so on. This webinar is best experienced with a team, so pastors, musicians, liturgists, worship hosts, hospitality team members, and of course techies will all benefit from this conversation. Now, your conference has made this event possible, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to present it live in the very near future. Check out your conference's website for how to register and be a part of this very practical webinar. Friends, I just have to say kudos to you for all that you've been doing these last many months. You have been through so much. You have learned through the challenges, technical and otherwise, and as we move into the next season of ministry, we have to consider both and. Please stay safe out there, keep up the great work, and I hope to see you as part of this training.
It's important that you pre-register for this workshop. So make sure that you get on the conference website or click the link below to register for this workshop. Our pre-conference briefings, there's so many things that are coming out for annual conference in June. We're going to make all of the pre-conference materials available on May the 17th. If you are a member of annual conference, either a lay member or a clergy member, you'll receive your pre-conference materials on Monday, May the 17th. And we'll also have pre-conference briefings all over our annual conference. They're going to be virtual, but we're going to do 4 of them for our existing 4 districts. And you can go to any one depending on what day or time works better for you. They're all going to be held at 6:30. The first one's going to be May the 18th, and that's geared towards our Wilmington district. May the 19th is geared towards Dover district. May the 25th is Easton district, and May the 26th is for Salisbury district. Again, you don't have to be a part of that district. You can sign on any time, but the links are on the conference website. So you just click that. You don't need to register for that. Click on that link and we'll go over all of the information for annual conference. Thanks again, and remember to make sure that you are the light of the world in our annual conference.